I'm only joking. Hello guys and welcome forward to lastminute.com London Eye River Cruise Experience. If you're wondering where this very handsome voice is coming from, don't worry, I've got you covered. Top deck, look behind you, you will see me. Hi everyone. My name is AJ. You might have seen me on some amazing TV shows. One of them is called Scanning Your Tickets. Very, very popular on that show indeed. We do encourage as much bridge waving as possible, as this is the only time you get a 5-finger wave back instead of 1. You do this on the tube, you look mental. This is a non-smoking vessel, so please no smoking, and no vaping for you cool hipsters. Yes, we know you exist. Lovely. If you go into the sit-up clean room, more than welcome to. However, there are some rules you must obey. You must stay seated at all times throughout this cruise. Because if you look behind you, you will see our captain. You stand up, he can't see Titanic times 2. Not for you to get wet.
Why?
Let's see down to it. While wondering, he's not a very happy comes here. Well, you get away. You do it anyway. Are you guys excited for this tour? Are you guys excited for this tour? So on your right to this very important building here, this is the Houses of Parliament. But did you guys know that this is actually a palace? Yes, it's New Westminster Palace. New because our old one burnt down 1834. Because our politicians back in the day were very silly billies. Nothing has changed. We used to tally everything on wooden blocks, and at the bottom of the palace was a huge furnace. One day they came into work and went, oh, we have so many wooden blocks, we burn them. Which they did, and obviously fire and wood does not match. Smoke starts to rise into the palace, they thought it was London's famous fog, and it all burnt down. However, the only part that is still original, if you look in front of you, slightly to your right, you see a very small stone hut with stairs going down into the River Thames. This is the world's smallest prison. Very important people staying in there, like Guy Fawkes, remember the 5th of November. You were left in there for a couple of days with the elements of London, so we were rain, a bit of sun, and Hurricane Katrina. A vessel will come in collection, you do the walk of shame down those stairs, and it will take you to the Tower of London where you will be killed. We're doing the same journey today, so if you annoy me, you know exactly what you're doing today. There are two parts to the House of Parliament, with the House of Commons and the House of Lords. Then you look to your right, you see the tents right there, the red tent and the green tent. The bridge in front of you is red, and the bridge behind you is green. What a coincidence, I wonder why that's there. The reason for this, there's a law that states that both parties are not allowed to mix with each other. So they can't eat with each other, use the same bathrooms, use the same restaurants, nothing together. They used to also do that you can't even come over the same bridge. Yeah, so they made their own designated bridges, which they had to come over on their own bridge. All this just to stop any corruption. Did that work? That's your judgment, not mine. Right, if you look to your left, you can see there are 3 exact same buildings. Yes, these used to be the old hospitals of London. There used to be one for each day of the week. But during the Blitz, the majority of these buildings got bombed. So we're now left with the Friday, the Saturday, and the Sunday wing. The 2 party days, the day of rest, and obviously Sunday was the most busiest. But now, these are the most luxurious universities you can ever go to. If you go there, you leave with the highest qualification in nursing, called the Nightingale Award, which all the doctors and nurses in St Thomas's Hospital they have. So I'll be nowhere near that building. Not for me. Yes, Florence Nightingale was famous for doing so many work rules, as it were. The first one is making sure you wash your hands before surgery, and then the one that we can all relate to is not coming to work drunk. Yeah, she did that. Thanks, love. Very different, everyone. But as we turn around, let's look back at the House of Parliament. It's a very grand building, is it not? But there are 3 main towers. You've got the largest one literally right behind us, with the Union flag at the top. Yes, that is a Union flag. It's not a Union Jack. It's only a Union Jack when it's flying above the water on a ship. When it's on land, it's a Union flag. Finally, Brits the central tower. Yeah, so this is pretty much a huge chimney, so they learned from the first mistake. So whenever they burn anything, Victoria Tower will be done in there. So whenever you see these smoking out that lovely building, you know this person. Important. But put your hands in the air, guys, if you just see Big Ben. Right, just Big Ben. You guys, let's have super, super, super. Nobody can see. The reason for this Big Ben is that Ben is 1.5 meters. It's the site of the Victoria Tower. Obviously named it. So you guys can see the clock, he was a really tall guy, he was 7 foot, so quite so large, very large size. He was really deep in his box. So people looked at him, lifted the bell, and the main thing. This is not a Ferris wheel, this is an observation wheel. The plot on the outside is a 360 view of London, but that is two of London. The first one is on block number 33. And 14. But then after September, we're very superstitious with it, but the 14 is so we go on block number 33. We do have our own version of block 13, but that is a really comfortable, and that's where you go to sign your map tickets. Starting off. If you look at the bridge in front of the Great Orlando Eye, it's a bridge which shows like the London Eye is really because yes, this real bridge was built to match the setting of the London Eye. A lot of that very modern architecture, so yes, they will list the block into the bridges. Front of it, you can show you a royal wave, was a single bridge. There was a lane of and it's the first place in the entire world to have its very first. Sorry, Margaret. Ladies, look at the bridge in front of you. It's great. basically just a very smart lawyer. The lawyer says, the judge actually used that story. The new skyscraper that London skyline is and my personal favourite is the Kim Kardashian. You can see it, you can see it. These are luxury apartments, they're around 14.5 million, and you can't take the windows. A pineapple back in the 1700s was a fruit coffee. Pineapple would cost you around £10,000. And you didn't have to eat it. It was just there to make it rich and expensive. They got declined as they wanted to show that St. Paul was religious. But people said that side, see the small two orbs. Yeah, it's not orbs. Those are pineapples. So he kind of got his way in the end. He secretly built those. Shakespeare got changed in there. That pub has been there since 1615, making it one of the oldest buildings. You're drinking, you're music, also if you're going to feel music that goes off, if you're passing dog fighting, and especially if you're that is the golden price, and some parts of vehicles around the world are 50-77 to land, and then you have to store treasure. But instead, if you went to Portugal and España, it's 25 million dollars. Christy Queen of the Times is also delighted that he's usually dead for one, not like a 3 years time. So you can speak to Spanish on one of the gravel, you talk about the food, you know, you are. naval warship was trying here. But after the war, we do not need the vessel anymore. So they'll have to turn it into San Francisco Art Bridge is perfectly yours. There's an alternate wall in the stars with 22 position. You've got away from anyone on this bridge the whole of the next 5 years. Good luck. So 3, 2, 1, I want everyone to scream and shout. 3, 2, 1, go. Docks of London, it looks very empty, but back in the day, we had 9,000 vessels to your right ski in front of you. The reason for this, look to your right, you've got butlers walking on the stairs. Wharf stands for warehouse at waterfront. So this focus is the only steamship, power, spices and silk. And when the invention of refrigeration came about, it became barren. You can't get rid of it because it listed, so this one guy who swoops in, bought it for no money. Now, these are the most luxurious apartments in London, ranging from 4 to 14 million pounds. With a 6-year waiting list just to use. And if you live in a space, you now to tell you that in the summer, or when you shower, your entire apartment will smell similar. I do recommend video cameras are the best photo opportunity, which is a selfie with me. Jokes. But the only vessel that can take me the best view of Tower Bridge and all of that skyscrapers old and new. If you get the double-decker bus in the middle, there's literally a London postcard. Please use the correct hashtags. Hashtag this is Tower Bridge. Hashtag phone, you get it right. And this one gets the most likes, and I don't know why, but it's hashtag AJ's the best tour guide in London. I'll tell you some facts about this bridge. The bridge opened in 1894, so it's fairly new. When it first opened, it was originally painted chocolate brown called Queen Victoria Large Chocolate. The towers you can see were put there just to make it look pretty, and it was easier for pedestrians to cross the bridge. As the bridge used to open 60 times a day back in the day, now it really opens 3 times. Yeah, it's quite sad. And every time it does open, it decides to get stuck. So there we go. They had to close the connecting footpaths in 1910 because really bad things used to happen up there, like murder. They reopened it in 1980s as a basic museum, and now it's home to the Tower Bridge Experience. The reason I know this fact is because I did the London Bridge Experience. It's a lot of fun. There's a glass floor at the top. So if you want to drink very quick about Scottish Sparrow, don't worry, your coats will know the secret. When people do look at the bridge, they think the bridge is really made up of stone, but no, you're wrong. The stonework is there for one layer to match the Tower of London to your right. And now talk slowly. But yes, Tower of London on your right is the world's most important and most impressive tourism. The oldest plant is the bloody tower, but unfortunately you can't see because of the bloody trees. But this has been everything. It's been an armory, an artillery, a pit and a zoo for 200 years. Yes, a zoo for 200 years, my lord. It was the first place in the UK to ever see an elephant. But back in the day, we had no Google. So we had no idea how you look after an elephant. So you thought you had to feed it a gallon of red wine each and every day. In a very short but dry life. You can see on the wall of the Thames it says entry to Traitors Gate. So like we said back in the House of Parliament, you got picked up on the vessel and you got taken through here, the world's first one-way street. Because once you're going inside there, you're never coming out alive. Only certain people were executed in the tower because if you were rich, you had a private execution. If you were poor, like me, you had to have a public one outside of the tower, but mostly in Tower Hill. Families will gather screaming and cheering from around the country to see someone's head chopped off with a sword or an axe. Back in the day, that was considered a family day out. How things change, now we go through two members. It usually took around 13 swings to get someone's head chopped off, hence the saying, unlucky number 13. The reason it took that many blows is because the executioner was blessed to always be drunk and made sure that his blade was always blunt. So if you were poor, you would give the executioner all your life earnings just to make the order to get caught. The last people to stay in the prison, or executed in the prison I should say, was in the 1940s, some German spies. And the last people to stay in the actual tower were these very naughty twins here in the UK. If you know them, you know them. But the house at the Tower of London is now home to the Crown Jewels, which no longer belongs to the royal family, it belongs to us Brits. So you'll have to go and try it on, go for it, they'll let you do it, but then you'll get beaten up by the beefeaters to test them better. But let's talk about this lovely building on your left. Yes, this lovely and tall building. Full name is the Shard of the Glass. Tallest building in the United Kingdom, second largest in Western Europe. But this, it looks like it's not completed at the top, but trust me it is. The building is meant to look like pieces of glass are stuck together. But we call this in London the very lonely and empty building because inside it has one hotel called the Shangri-La. It has 2 bars, a few offices and a few luxury apartments, and the rest of the building is completely empty, and they have no plans to change that in the near future. You can actually live up the Shard, go for and support your choices. 14, 45.5 million, 45.5 million pounds. You can't open a window because the destroys the building. What is it with London and windows? They're really fussy about who can actually buy an apartment up the Shard. The latest person who got rejected was Kanye West. Yes, Kanye West will do it. Do not know. But in a second, we look to actually we talk about this building here on your right. So this lovely building here that looks like Tetris is the UK's richest building. There's nothing important about this building, it's just a Shanghai bank. So it's just very, very picturesque. So we look next door to that, you can see 2 concrete buildings, and there's a gap in the middle. Keep looking through the gap, you can see a large corner with a huge golden orb at the top. This is called a monument, and it's a monument to the Great Management of 1666. There it is. Circles around the guy that makes it to cathedral, he got this. So that London can see their city being rebuilt as 80% of London got destroyed in a 3-day fire. They only cared about the rich people, so they said that the amount of people that got killed was only 6. Yes, but obviously there was more than that. You can climb that today, but there's around 400 steps. Can't remember how many steps there are, but it's quite a lot. £5 to £5 of cardio. But look right, this is the bridge says London Bridge. You have to look at your business because that's wrong. We actually do not know how many bridges we have had here, but we know it's been a bridge right back maybe 2,000 years since the Roman era. For around 500 years, the Romans used to build the bridge out of wood, but the attempts to cut a short part however, it used to fall down all the time. But this is our latest one, the Elizabeth London Bridge. Do you recommend a little walk up there? It's quite nice to see. There's a little city line. But the next bridge in front of you has the world famous award of London's most ugliest bridge. There's nothing else to say about this bridge. It is a blip in the matrix, so just ignore it. If we look on your right, you can see there's this building here, the 2 towers, and it looks like something is missing in the middle. Yes, there used to be a huge crystal glass dome up there. Yes, the UK were most famous for that. It survived the First World War, but when they found out they're about to go into war once again, they decided to pick it up and take the countryside and they will not get bombed. So we're looking up there, and you see it's not there, it's because yes, it got bombed, and this building did not get touched whatsoever. Also, fun fact, underneath this bridge, you can see that there's a sauna there. Yeah, that is London's best immediate spa. But anyway, the problem, they put the windows the wrong way around, so they can't see out, but we can see in. But we see some very strange things in that building. this bridge, complete in 1921 in an Art Deco style. It's the only bridge that is still gas lit and apparently is a mecca for lovers. Usually there are no cars going across this bridge because they're doing some major works on the side of the river, so to carry on upriver they have to cross over. But this bridge is also known as the Lonely Bridge. Yes, usually it's completely empty because this bridge does not lead to any major roads, no attractions and no restaurants. Google Maps always avoids this bridge because it's just not necessary. I'm a pure Londoner, born and raised, I've never stepped foot on this bridge. I've no idea what it is. Loads of Americans when they come to visit London, they think that this is London Bridge. Because the latest very popular movie, they say that this was London Bridge because the original one is too boring. But yes, no, this is Solid Bridge, not London Bridge. If you look to your left, you see this lovely brick building with a humongous chimney. This is Tate Modern, used to be a power station. It was a brother of Battersea Power Station. Decommissioned in the 1980s because it was polluting London's air with smog. But they decided to reopen it in 2000 as a very basic arts gallery, but now in 2021 it is the world famous Tate Modern Art Gallery, holding famous pieces from the 1900s. This place is free to enter and it's humongous. It is ginormous. It takes all day to do. But don't worry, if you do not like modern art, that lovely glass bit at the top is called The Terrace and it's London's best cocktail bar. So go up there, have a few cocktails, come back down, literally the artwork will come to life in front of your face. It's also now famous for this Infinity Room. But don't bother trying to buy tickets as they're sold out until June 2022. With the bridge in front of us, this is known as the Millennium Bridge or the Blade of Light. This is what beat the London Eye in that competition I was telling you about at the beginning. But they call this bridge the Wobbly Bridge. Yeah, so you're thinking why? Because when it opened in 2000, they had to close this bridge 4 hours later. Because when you were standing in the middle of the bridge, you were swinging side to side 7 to 8 inches. So people were getting badly sick or hospitalized. The architect, Sir Norman Foster, he came to London to defend this bridge because he said that there was nothing wrong with this bridge. It's the way you Londoners walk, you guys march. We think it was a really bad design and it cost more to fix the bridge than it did to build. The reason for this, we had to ask NASA, yes, the space company, to come and fix our bridge. But now we're coming up to 2.5 black flyover bridges. Now I have the time to tell you what these are. So the first bridge you can see in front of you is Europe's largest solar bridge. Now in London is always very news. It's the only bridge that has a station that you can get from both sides of the river, which is Blackfriars Station. Then the bridge in front of that are the Victorian Foot Bridges. The bridge in front of you gets 80 to 85% of its energy from the solar powers, making it the world's cleanest bridge. But the columns in the middle used to be its own bridge, yes, it's called the Invisible Bridge. It takes you from platform 9 3/4 all the way to Hogwarts. So if you can see the bridge or the train, you are a witch or a wizard. If you can't, you are a muggle. I'm so sorry, Hogwarts. You believe that? You have to see that. But yes, those columns used to be its own bridge called the St. Paul's Bridge, famous for bringing in the first steam train over to London. Those trains were more advanced with diesel, trains became heavy, and that bridge could not support the weight of the train, so you could crack it back to the board. So what was super clever? They decided to build the two London bridges, very expensive bridges at the time. They managed to take the top bit off the middle bridge, but did not realise how well the columns were made. They were strong. We need to use them to your teeth, which will obviously destroy the brand new and expensive bridges in this room. The really fun fact in the government right now is that she says this about the columns. Paint the columns red, paint them, I just said that, give them a distance when you can't get rid of them, and hope that nobody will notice them. Yes, we definitely notice we talk about 6 times a day. If you look to your right, you're really sorry about all this construction. No longer do not put in the oil, but currently updating our Victorian sewer system. Yet back in the 1850s, London was hit with a big stinky wrinkle. So London thought of the best ideas to put their E and their weed into the Thames. And this is what we got our water. It was the hottest summer on record, so the heat was literally fermenting and boiling all through, making a very, very bad smell. But even the people in the Houses of Parliament wanted to leave and they put to a different building because they could not stand the smell. Until one guy decided to make our first Victorian sewer system designed for 1.1 million Londoners. London now has just under 10 million, so it kept getting clogged. We're now making the official name is called the Super Sewer. It's so big that the main tunnels can fit 2 double-decker buses through them. Damn, London is brilliant. When people do come to London, they look at the River Thames and go, oh, disgusting, look, the colour, they must be good. But no, they are wrong. The River Thames is actually the world's cleanest inner city river. The reason it has this colour is the base of the Thames is clay and sand. There are nearly 6 currents in the River Thames that goes up and down twice a day, nearly 7 meters down. So it can never settle. But if you've got a glass of this water, you put it on the windowsill, all the clay, all the sand goes down to the bottom, you have a clean glass of fresh water. Nearly 97% of London's drinking water comes from here, the River Thames, because it costs less than because it's already fresh already. There's 125 species of fish in the River Thames as we speak, including seals, dolphins, and seals. We sometimes do get some whales that come down here, but obviously they don't like the fresh water, so obviously end up at the Fish Museum in London. Don't tell the kids why. If you look on your right, you can see these very small silver and red buildings. We are currently exiting the city of London. There's some tourists who come to London, they think London's the entire thing, but no, it is not. London is only 1 square mile. We're now entering the city of Westminster, the city of royals, and the city of London is the city of money making. There's an old law that says that royals and money makers are not allowed to mix. So the Queen is actually not allowed to just go into the city of London whenever she wants. She always has to ask permission, and the Lord Mayor of the city of London will pay the taxes if he allows her. Which we usually do here is called the Lord Mayor's Day, where we usually have a lovely carnival with all the Look at the right hand side, you can see his lovely green lion heads. Yes, these used to be old Edwardian flood warning system. But it's a rhyme that goes, when the lions are drinking, London is sinking. When the lions are ducked, well, London is truly flooded. Yeah, ducked, flooded, doesn't really rhyme, does it? But look on your right side in front of you, you see a very huge Georgian building with a green dome at the top. This is Somerset House. You used to come in here to do your marriage certificates, birth certificates, and death certificates. So us Londoners, we will let the hatching, matching, and dispatching begin. But it's locally famous where Lord Nelson used to go to get his battle briefing against that person who was a huge coin in 15 seconds. And the last place you'll see the rest of Garden over a town, joy. But it's also famous for the courtyard. The courtyard is home to the south of the open air theatre, and then in the winter, very romantic ice skating rink. So I do recommend a tour. They do tours for free on Thursdays and Fridays. But I do recommend the architecture and service. Absolutely. Yes, ladies, we are back at your bridge, so why not have the smartest bridge as well, because it self-cleans itself, yes. It's made out of Portland stone, the same material or the same stone that's at the Fish Museum. So every time it rains, the thing is rapid in water and at the bar. We have the smartest bridge, but every bridge I'm doing is only suited for beaches. Look to your right, see this lovely white building with a huge clock face. It's a Shell Tower, showing that people do on petrol. Then we wanted a bigger clock face, the clock face of Big Ben. So this one in front of you is 3 inches bigger. So yes, gentlemen, size matters in London. If we look in front of that, you can see a very pretty stone needle. Yes, it's Cleopatra's needle. This thing in front of you is 3,500 years old. That's it right there. That in front of you is 3,500 years old. It's older than London by 1,000 years, and it's older than Cleopatra by 1,000 years as well. The reason I got that name is because the ship that was being brought over on was called the Cleopatra, which sank, and we lost this monument for a couple of years. So they decided to call it the Cleopatra Cathedral just to commemorate all the people that lost their lives on that vessel. But us it's a great cloud of this monument, as it's one of the key things that we take up still from Egypt. Yes, it was given to us after the Great Battle of the Nile, and we have to explain. The hieroglyphics you can see on the stonework are talking about an old pharaoh called Tutmosis II. But you guys hear about a brand new pharaoh that they discovered in Egypt. They're about to bring to the British Museum, so quite excited. It was all over the newspapers. But the really strange thing was that when they opened the pharaoh, he was smothered in chocolate and nuts. We don't understand why. We think his name was Pharaoh Rocher. That was a funny joke, come on guys, you laugh after you go. It's the last time to wait that you want to do this, so please wait. Because from this point on guys, I need everyone to please stay seated for the duration of this cruise. So wait. There's a wall away. Wow, that guy's very fast. Fantastic, so as we get ready to do our booking procedures, please remain seated for now because it can get bumpy. But if you look suddenly in front of you to your right, you can see these behind the trees, like these green roofs and loads of flagpoles. So this is the Ministry of Defence. Very important building here from the UK, as they have all the battle plans for us. But it's also an inspiration to J.K. Rowling's Ministry of Magic. The reason the Ministry of Magic goes underground is because this one here is also known as the Iceberg Building, because it goes 17 floors underground with a nuclear bunker right at the bottom, with tunnels that connect the House of Parliament, tear down the street, Buckingham Palace and my house, so that was super safe. The Ministry of Defence took the London Eye to court in 2000 because they did not want us to be built whatsoever. They thought espionage, spies would go off the clock of large cameras and through the windows of some top secret documentation. So the government legit laughed in their face and said this. You guys in the Ministry of Defence just buy some fragments though. And we won. It was a waste of time and money for everyone, and they really saw losers because at 6 o'clock when we used to be closed, you can see them opening their lines. So, losers. Today's what the London Eye. The London Eye is going to do so many things. We do a whole road tasting, do champagne tasting, gin tasting, whiskey tasting, beer tasting, canapé tasting, chocolate tasting, so on and so forth. We're also mostly famous for our champagne experiences that we've been doing 15 years, and now a brand new experience called the Pub Pod. Yes, there's an actual pub on the Eye. Yes, I do this one, so if you get to do the Pub Pod, you might get me as your server. The mostly famous though for weddings, we've had 18,000 proposals from 13 rejections. We've had 1,800 successful weddings. We time it really well, so put us the pots. You say your vows as you go up, right at the top with 360 view of London. You say I do. But don't forget, it's all down here on the other side. And don't forget about the rings. You've got the engagement ring, the wedding ring, and the most importantly, the supper ring. Whatever order you see fit. Actually, some people like that. If you guys enjoy this tour, please write a TripAdvisor. My name is AJ. If you hated it, that's absolutely fine. Please write a TripAdvisor, but my name was Derek. I do not exist whatsoever. Please help us by cleaning this lovely vessel, so look around your feet for any rubbish. Please take it with you, as we do have to leave in a very tight schedule set for the people of the Thames. So we do find it very hard to do a deep clean of the cruise after every single tour. So help us have the other people a wonderful time as well. But please stay seated until I say it's safe. But until then, thank you very much for joining us on our cruise. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day here in Calgary, San Diego. Thank you.